Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're dissecting some really dramatic events, things that unfolded just hours ago, actually, July 16th, 2025.
That's right. Pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you're watching the news live and you see Israeli airstrikes hitting Syrian military targets right in Damascus. You've got these massive explosions, smoke everywhere near really key places like the Syrian Ministry of Defense, the General Staff Headquarters. It's quite a picture.
It really is a powerful kind of disturbing image, you know. It just underscores the raw intensity of the region, always shifting.
Right.
But what's really interesting, I think, is that, yeah, the headlines are screaming military strikes, but this deep dive, we're going to try and unpack the layers beneath all that.
Exactly.
It's not just about the bombs, is it? It's about this unique ethno-religious group, the Druze, and the incredibly complex shifting loyalties in Syria now that Assad's gone.
That's it. That's our mission today. To get past the breaking news flashes, we want to help you understand the deep history, the unique identity, and the geopolitical weight of the Druze people.
Yeah.
And maybe most importantly right now, why Israel has suddenly declared protecting them a top priority. Especially with all these tensions and sectarian clashes flaring up in southern Syria.
It's a critical question.
So who are the Druze? What makes their story so central right now?
Okay, well, the Druze, they actually call themselves al-Muwaffaq.
Which means?
The monotheists. Their faith is, it's Abrahamic, monotheistic, kind of syncretic. It emphasizes God's unity, reincarnation, the soul being eternal, stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, here's the really crucial part. While it originated from Ismailism, which is a branch of Shia Islam, most Druze today, they don't identify as Muslims.
Right.
And they don't accept the 5 pillars of Islam. And that's not just like a minor theological point. It really sets them apart from the main Sunni Shia dynamics in the Middle East.
So that influences their alliances, their position.
Exactly. It often makes them a distinct minority, sometimes quite isolated.
And I understand their religious practices are mostly kept secret, and you can't convert.
That's right. Largely secret and no conversion allowed. But at the same time, they strongly hold on to Arabic language and culture. That's a huge part of their identity.
Interesting. So where are they primarily located?
The main concentrations are Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. Smaller communities in Jordan, too.
And in Syria specifically?
So before the civil war, say pre-2011, there were around 700,000 Druze there. The vast majority, like over 90%, were in the Jebel al-Druze region. That's basically the Suwayda governorate.
Okay, Jebel al-Druze.
Yeah. But you also find significant communities near Quneitra in some Damascus suburbs like Jaramana and Sanaa, and even up in Idlib.
And these communities, they're not like passive bystanders in history, are they? They played a big role.
Oh, absolutely. A really significant political and military role over the centuries. I mean, think about the Syrian Revolution, 1925 to 27, against the French. Druze leadership was central there.
Right.
They have this long history of fiercely resisting occupying powers. Sometimes they managed to carve out more freedom than other groups.
Well, it hasn't all been straightforward. They face persecution, too.
Definitely. Yeah, that history has its dark chapters. They've faced really severe persecution under various regimes. A key example is Adib Shishakli's campaign back in the early 50s.
What happened there?
Well, between 49 and 54, about 10,000 Syrian troops occupied Jebel al-Druze. It was brutal. Widespread casualties, destruction. It really highlights this pattern of fierce independence mixed with real vulnerability.
That history of persecution, that vulnerability, it sort of sets the stage for what's happening now, doesn't it? With Israel stepping in?
Precisely. It leads us to this really quite surprising aspect, Israel's deep commitment to protecting them.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because it's not just geopolitics, is it? It stems from Israel's own Druze population.
Exactly. Israeli Druze are, deeply integrated into Israeli society. They're known for their loyalty, their significant service in the Israeli Defense Forces, the IDF.
It's often called a covenant of blood, right?
That's the phrase you hear. And it's not just talk. I mean, what's maybe most surprising here is how personal this feels. This covenant of blood isn't just symbolic. It implies a kind of unique moral duty.
Like Israeli soldiers feeling obligated to protect kin across an enemy border.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost unheard of in the region, that kind of bond transcending national lines like that.
And this bond, it created real pressure inside Israel for action.
Oh, absolutely. You saw it directly from Israeli Druze leaders. Muwaffaq Tarif, he's the spiritual leader of the community in Israel. He publicly called for intervention, said Israel cannot remain a bystander. to what is happening right now in Syria. Pretty direct. There were even reports, anecdotes about Druze pilots in the Israeli Air Force saying they were ready to defend their Syrian relatives.
Wow. Shows how deep those ties run.
It really does.
And Israel didn't just talk, they acted, even before these latest strikes.
Right. This started earlier this year. Back in March 2025, Israel was already emphasizing its commitment to protect them.
And then came the drone strike.
Yeah, April 30th. The IDF announced a drone strike. They said it targeted a group getting ready to attack Druze militias in Sana'a, Syria.
And they called it a warning operation.
Exactly, a warning to deter more violence. Netanyahu, Foreign Minister Israel Katz, they were both very explicit, said the action was, quote, meant to send a clear message to Syrian leadership to protect the Druze.
So clear warning shot. But now we've gone beyond warnings.
We certainly have. That brings us right up to July 16th. The IDF announces these major strikes on Syrian regime military HQs in Damascus.
Right after reports of drones hitting al-Suwayda itself.
Correct. And Defense Minister Kappas, again, justified it by citing that deep brotherly alliance with Israeli Druze and their familial and historical connection to the Druze in Syria. He warned Damascus to withdraw his forces or face, intensified responses.
So a definite shift. Direct military action. This feels like a new phase.
It really does. A new chapter in this already incredibly complicated Syrian situation.
So what's the context for all this? I mean, it's happening in the chaos after Assad fell, right? December 8th, 2024.
Exactly. Assad's fall basically ripped the lid off, especially for minority communities like the Druze. They felt incredibly vulnerable.
Because the new government can't control everything.
Pretty much. The interim president, Ahmad al-Shara, the reports say he's still struggling to bring all factions under his control. Think of it like the central authority is gone and it's a scramble for power.
A power vacuum.
Yeah. And in that vacuum, groups like the Druze are really exposed.
But it's also important to remember the Syrian Druze themselves aren't all on the same page, right? They're not uniformly pro-Israel intervention.
Absolutely crucial point. There are deep internal divisions. They are definitely not all aligned with Israel. We saw that example in Suwayda. An Israeli flag was hoisted in a square, apparently. It was taken down and burned almost immediately.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a powerful symbol, isn't it? Even when things are desperate, identity, history, old grievances, they run really deep. Makes simple alliances almost impossible.
And some Druze factions are actually causing problems, described as hardline.
Yes, particularly some who were part of Assad's old national defense forces. Reports describe them as hardline, basically refusing to disarm or integrate with whatever new structure is emerging. And they've been involved in clashes themselves, so yeah, it's messy.
And the immediate trigger for these big Israeli strikes in July, that was clashes within Suwayda itself.
That seems to be the direct trigger. Starting around July 13th, really fierce sectarian clashes broke out in al-Suwayda province.
Between who?
Between local Druze militias and Sunni Bedouin tribes, apparently sparked by the alleged kidnapping of a Druze merchant.
And it got bad quickly.
Very bad. Reports say at least 37 people killed 27 Druze, including tragically 2 children and 10 Bedouin. Over 100 injured. One of the deadliest local confrontations there in years. The Syrian Ministry of Interior even called it a dangerous escalation happening amid worsening chaos.
So Israel steps in amidst this internal fighting. How does this play out geopolitically? Turkey's involved in Syria now, too.
Right, and some analysis suggests Israel's move here also kind of challenges Turkey's growing influence over the new Syrian government in Damascus. It's a multi-layered game.
And Iran. Assad's gone, but Iran's still a player.
Oh, definitely. Iran has said its project in Syria will continue. They likely still have forces, proxies, probably near the Golan Heights. Israel's #1 concern there is stopping Iran from embedding serious military capabilities, think missiles, advanced drones, right on its border.
Okay. How's the world reacting to these Israeli strikes?
It's mixed, but maybe less condemnation than you might expect. The UN Secretary General Guterres expressed deep concern, called the strikes a violation of independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Syria. Standard UN line, really.
But from major powers, regional players.
Interestingly, the reports say no significant regional or international opposition has emerged against the Israeli intervention.
Really? Why do you think that is?
Well, some suggest Israel is kind of leveraging the international goodwill, or maybe understanding it gained after the October 7th attacks, what's often termed al-Aqsa flood. That event seems to have shifted the diplomatic landscape for Israel, perhaps giving it more leeway, plus maybe some ambiguity from the U.S.
Interesting. And you mentioned social media.
Yeah, it's fascinating. These strikes blew up on platforms like TikTok, lots of discussion, commentary, some people even connecting the events, the strikes on Damascus, to biblical prophecies.
Wow, ancient prophecies in TikTok.
Exactly. It just shows you how these conflicts play out now. Ancient history, modern geopolitics, all swirling together in the digital sphere, shaping how people see things on the ground.
So just to kind of wrap things up, what we're seeing is Israel making this really determined move to protect the Druze in Syria. It's driven by this unique historical bond with its own Druze citizens.
Right.
But that's crashing right into the incredibly messy reality of post-Assad Syria. You've got Druze communities divided amongst themselves and this escalating sectarian violence.
Yeah.
It's a real powder keg.
It absolutely is. And it keeps igniting.
Which leads us to a final thought, maybe something for you, our listener, to chew on.
Hmm.
Okay, so you have the Druze community with these complex, sometimes conflicting loyalties scattered across different countries. You have the Middle East power dynamics constantly shifting. How might Israel's decision, its declaration to protect the Syrian Druze, actually reshape their future, their identity, their economy? And what could that mean for the stability or instability of the whole region in the long run?
That's the big question, isn't it? A lot riding on what happens next.